A very good afternoon. A very good afternoon to all the participants. I, Dr. Vani Agarwal, Assistant Professor, Coordinator of MBA Business Analytics Program, welcome you all to the Amity Business School, Amity University, Haryana. Amity University Haryana Gurugram is built on a foundation which embodies all the qualities that have made Amity institutions world-class over the last 2 decades. The USGBC LEED Platinum Certificate is a testimonial of Amity University Haryana's commitment to sustainable green campus, making carbon neutral university by focusing on high energy efficient building and sustainable practices. Amity Business School, under the Faculty of Management Studies and Behavioral Science, a part of Amity University Haryana, Gurugram, was established in 2010. The institute is accredited by Accreditation Service for International Colleges, ASIC UK, an international body for educational standards assessment, and Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, ACBSP USA, a prestigious international accreditation body and a global premier destination in the field of business management, and also ranked among top 100 business school in NIRF ranking. Academic programs at Amity Business School enable students to find the route to success by putting theory into practice, discover and implement innovative solutions to the real world problems. I'm very happy to share that in this academic year, we have developed and designed a complete series of online FDPs and MDPs program. 6 programs we have designed, and the 5 FDPs and MDPs program we have successfully completed in this academic program. So first MDP program on data science for managers. Second, we conducted on data analysis using R programming. Third MDP we conducted on storytelling and data visualization using Tableau. Fourth, on the advanced research methods. And fifth, on systematic literature review, meta-analysis, and bibliometric analysis using different analytical tools. So we have successfully completed 5 programs with a very good number of participants from various organizations, corporate sector, from different university across the world. Even we have got like good number of international participants as well. So, and today we are starting with our 6th MDP on data visualization using Power BI. So Power BI is a powerful tool that provides a very intuitive platform to the users for data visualization. So the main purpose of this program is to introduce data visualization and how Power BI is useful in data visualization to solve your business problems, economic problems, research problems. So this is completely a hands-on program that will demonstrate how to install the Power BI tool, how to connect your data files, how to prepare your data, format your data, highlight your data, how to do data analysis, and how to visualize your data by creating dashboards. After the completion of this workshop, this program, the participants will be able to build interactive dashboards, generate powerful reports, and you can also share the meaningful insights out of the huge data set by making effective presentations using this tool Power BI. So the main objective is you to basically learn the interface, how the installation process, how to build up the dashboard, right? So in these 5 days, we have designed it like that on the first day, you will learn like what is data visualization, what is the significance of data visualization, and the installation process. On the second day, you will learn about the basic charts, how to create basic charts using Power BI. On the third day, you will learn how to prepare your data, how to format your data in Power BI. On the fourth day, we'll take you to the advanced version of the visualization, like you will learn the different type of advanced charts like maps, like waterfall chart, like bow and tie charts. So various advanced charts you will learn on day 4. And on day 5, you will learn how to create dashboards, interactive dashboard, right, like this. So now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Vikas Madhukar sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Director, Amity Business School, Amity University, Haryana, for the welcome address. He is specialized in finance and strategy and holds his doctorate in international finance from Kurukshetra University. He is also heading the Amity Innovation Incubation, which is supported by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology under Mighty Tide 2.0 and leading entrepreneurship and startup initiatives at the university. He has more than 22 years of experience in teaching, training, research, consultancy, and administration. He has produced more than 10 PhDs and contributed more than 65 research papers in different national and international journals and conferences, and authored articles in Times of India, and published 5 books on strategy and on other management areas. He has been a resource person and trainer to various public and private sector organizations like Ericsson, Keen India, Food Corporation of India, and QL2 Software, etc. He is also the editor-in-chief of Amity Management Analyst. He is a guide and a mentor. He led with collaborative approach and possesses excellent multitasking skill. So, sir, I want to invite you for the welcome address. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vani. A very good afternoon to all, my dear faculty members and dear participants. On behalf of our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Aseem Chauhan, and on my personal behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this 5-day management development program on data visualization using Power BI. Can I request all of you to please open your camera for a while for this introductory session, and if it is comfortable to all. So good afternoon. Right. Thank you so much. Right. So Dr. Vani has already, mentioned about what. Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon. Dr. Vani has very clearly laid down the topic, what is going to be covered during this 5 days management development program. But what is more important at this point of time is to understand the significance and utility of data-driven decision making. Because all of you are teaching and already involved in teaching, training, and aware about the kind of changes which now everybody is witnessing in the higher education landscape, the way the technology has become important. We have, realized the power of technology while we were going through a lockdown, and the COVID has taught us what we could not have learned otherwise in the next 10 years in terms of technology learning, and especially with the advent of new emergent technology like artificial intelligence, technology like virtual reality, the technology like the blockchain and IoT. All these technology are equally significantly impacting the higher education landscape the way they are impacting the industry. And while the World Economic Forum has released a very comprehensive report on the skill set requirement in times to come, by maybe in the 5 years down the line, so where the various skills they have highlighted, out of few skills they have made it quite critical for everyone from the perspective of the changes what we are visualizing in time to come. The one most important skill set which is highlighted by the World Economic Forum is the analytical skill, the data analytical skill particularly. Of course, the analytical skill is one very important we have been talking about earlier also, but here in this context, the data analytical skill is very, very important. Why it is important? Because we all know the digital revolution has changed everything. And once we entered into industry 4.0 and now we are entering into industry 5.0, the digitalization has made its presence everywhere. With a click, with a tap on our smartphone, every one of us is generating large amount of data. And that's this large amount of data is being utilized by corporate, by the decision maker, and helping them in various kind of decision making. I was going through a report by Deloitte which says that in comparison to 5 years earlier to now, the more than 55% of decision making is based on data driven decision making. So when I say data driven decision making, it is purely data driven decision making where the lot of analytics tool being used and data is analyzed, the meaningful information are extracted, modeling and forecasting are done so as to predict the future. And most of you, I'm sure, are well versed or aware about the kind of analytical tool which are used nowadays and helping the decision making. So on the same line, we at Amity Business School have thought of to come out with some of the important management development program and faculty development program. And we've already had number of MDPs or FDP both on Tableau and Power BI, and this is another FDI on Power BI, which is entirely focused on giving a training to all participants that how the data can, the large data can be processed and presented in a meaningful manner, and the so that it can help in decision making. The decision maker can utilize all those data. We have received a very good response from various university across country with large number of participants, as it is visible from the participation window. This around 35 participants are currently enrolled and many others are likely to join shortly. The participants are from across various university and institution at the different part of country. I have list of institution other than Amity where uh, we have participants. For example, I can read out the DIT University, Dehradun, Banasthali, Vidyapeeth, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi University, J&K, Mumbai University, Savitri Phule University, Lovely Professional University, R.A. Podar University, Goa Business School, Goa University, B.R. Ambedkar National Institute, Technical Jalandhar, IIT Kharagpur, and many other names are there in the list. As highlighted in the program schedule, the FDP is going to cover the different technical topic on different days. And I'm sure that by the end of the program, you all will equipped with the knowledge and understanding of Power BI and how this powerful tool can be helpful and utilized in the decision making. My one advice to all of you while you are attending this MDP, the one important thing is that you have to be, very attentive. I know, I mean, in online mode, it becomes sometimes difficult to get your full attention to the resource person. And many times while we are logging on virtual mode and simultaneously, we are also doing the other activity while keeping our camera off. But sometimes keeping in mind the importance of a program and an activity, as you all are registered also, you have all has invested some amount of participation fees also, and also keeping in mind the utility of this, my advice to all of you to give your maximum attention to the tools and technique which are going to discuss, which our resource person Dr. Monica Arora, who is a senior professor in Amity Business School and is an expert in IT and analytics, is going to take session. Dr. Vani is going to take session. My other expert of business analytics, I can see on screen, Dr. Ritu Sharma, who is associate professor in marketing and business analytics. She's also going to take some of the module of this session. And these all are, are literally expert in their field. And if you can, you want to have the maximum understanding and the maximum output from this MDP, so you have to devote maximum attention to this so that you can learn it. And wherever you find yourself in doubt, you can ask question. And once you are, say, for day one, you are going to talk about day one is a very introductory kind of thing where you are going to have discussion on data visualization and significance and Power BI installation. But then the second day is going to be quite important, which is going to talk about the creating visual report view, and also a case study will be discussed. So once you are, through with your day one, I would advise you to spend at least some more time on your own and have some kind of self exercises pertaining to learning what you have during the day is going to help you immensely in understanding this uh, important software in more detail. And only then, by the end, when you're finishing this program, you would find yourself in a position to have a complete hands on this particular software. um, so Dr. Monica, how is the module distributed? Who's going to take for the day? I think you are going to start.
Yes, sir. I am going to start for the day, and then we proceed for tomorrow. And the day after, on day 4 and 5, Dr. Vani will be taking the session.
Okay, Dr. Vani will be taking the session. Dr. Ritu is not taking. I think one session, Dr. Ritu, you should also take, right?
Sure.
So you discuss that which particular session you can take. So
Okay.
I want your input also, right?
Sure.
So that the participant should know that at Amity Business School, most of the faculty member are quite, well versed and have developed expertise in this particular. So my best wishes are with you. I'm sure that the MDP is going to give a lot of useful insight to all of you. And at the end of the program, and we both will be able to realize the ultimate outcome of this particular activity. Wish you all the best, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
I just, as sir briefed you, that you should be very focused to the sessions, because this is like hands-on workshop, right? You need to be like very focused when you are working on any software, right? So on daily basis, we'll give you some case studies, we'll teach you we'll give you all the reading material and the data set as well to practice you at home. So please do practice, and after the sessions, we'll give you recorded sessions as well for your understanding. All right. So like whatever query you have, we have given you all this camera right, and as well as to speak mic right as well. Okay. So if you face any problem, anything, you can stop in between and you can ask your query. This is for your convenience. We have added, but please do not disturb others. If you are misuse the camera, then we need to then take any action on that. So please don't misuse these rights. Use this appropriately. Yes, thank you so much. And if you have any other query, you can post it in the chat box, and your attendance link will share in the chat box after the first session. Between the technical session and the first session. All right, so now I would like to introduce our resource person for today's session is Dr. Monica Arora. She is the professor at Amity Business School, Amity University, Haryana, and she has more than 24 years of experience in teaching and industry in the area of IT and operations. She has a PhD from MPB BHOU Bhopal, and she has worked with many companies. She played a role as reviewer in International Journal of Indian Culture and Business Management, and she has published many books and papers in various reputed journals and international journals. So, Monica ma'am, now you can please take over the session. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Vani. Yeah, so I think I have a query like, madam, please confirm the camera need to be on and off. It is totally up to you. If you find it comfortable, have it on, and if you want it to be off, but we want you to be ask questions in between wherever you have query. That conversation should go on. So I start with a very basic topic which we have considered for.
Monica ma'am, just 1 second. I hope
Yeah.
everybody have joined the WhatsApp group, right? We have shared one email, and so please, if any of you have not joined the WhatsApp group, please join that group, or like ping me your number, or like on the chat box drop a message that you have not joined the group. So because that would be very useful while sending your queries, or like posting your this answers for the case studies. Okay, and your certificate will be dependent on your attendance and how do you perform, and on your this participation during the program. All right, thank you so much. Yeah.
Uh, So the WhatsApp group that we have created, you will be getting the attendance link there also, and in the Zoom chat box also. So please join the WhatsApp group, and we will be using it for the further communication also. So I just start with a very basic thing that we have kept this particular topic as data visualization using Power BI. So what do you mean by, and how it is going to be covered, as we have already discussed, like today I will be taking data visualization and its significance and the Power BI installation, and take you through the tour of what are the different options which are present. And day two, I will be taking like creating a visuals in report view, and then followed by how to use the query editor and all. So data visualization. So what do you understand by data visualization? If you can write on the chat box what you understand by data visual. Oh, okay. Before that, can I have a quick review of the participants, like how much you are comfortable in Power BI? Or have you a beginner of a Power BI, or you have used Power BI in past, or you have some knowledge of Power BI, whatever it is, right? So if I give you a scale of 1 to 10, how much you will be scaling yourself in Power BI from 1 to 10? Okay, 1, 6, 0, okay, 0, 1, okay, so 6, great, okay, fine. I think most of them are the beginners, and some has 6 points when somewhat as an average. So what is BI, as it stands for the business intelligence, right? So business intelligence is somewhat, so I am most of the responses that I am getting is one. So I will be starting little slow, very like taking you to the complete, so that at the end of this particular session you are able to create good dashboards by yourself, and you can incorporate those dashboards in your presentations as well as in your research papers, so that you can get a benefit of it. So when we talk about the Power BI, there's a word called as the business intelligence into it. So what do you mean by business intelligence? Business intelligence, if I recall, we called it as a MIS, that is Management Information System, and suddenly it calls us as something which is called as, which is used for the reporting. Reporting in the sense, like say at the if I talk about any business, if I talk about education, like say if the student has done his 1 year complete course, so what are the different phases that he has gone, what are the like strength and weakness of the student, so that I can involve in him or her in some activities. Or if you want to have some sales data, then you can see that where my sales has increased, where it has been decreased, how it has been, what is the conversion rate of my calls, right? So etc, etc. So it is something where you get a certain idea about when we call it the reporting. So reporting is something which is an aggregation of data. So when we call it the aggregation of data, so it can be giving you aggregate, like it can be either a count, or it can be giving you the maximum, minimum, it can be giving you the sum or an average kind of thing. So if I say that what is the average participation in the class, or what is the average score in mathematics in the class, So I get an average, a single number where I can take the advantage of how my class is performing in a particular subject. When I say that how my class is performing, if I want to segregate this data into the background of the student, so it will take a few seconds. If the data is in place, it will take a few seconds to align with the data with the specialization of 12th class or maybe in the graduation, so that I can easily see that what is the person who is good in science or who is good in mathematics, is good in analytics, or who is good in commerce, who is good in finance, right? So this is how you can have the idea of based on the data. So when we talk about the like reporting tools, so Power BI, Tableau are the best reporting tool that can be seen forward. Then if you say that there is a pivot table also, right? So when we see that the Excel has a pivot table, which again do the same purpose, which is the summarizing of data. So why we should use Power BI, or why we should use a tool called Tableau, right? So when we talk about the how the Power BI is different from Excel, or how a Tableau is different from Excel. So if you see that the Excel has its own limitation, Excel is not a visualization tool, right? Excel gives some reporting advantage, but it is not the visualization tool. In the Tableau also, if you see that what is the Tableau again has, okay, my voice is not clear. Is it so? Is is it so? Is most of the people are facing the problem?
Ma'am, we can hear you clearly.
Okay,
I
okay.
can hear you.
So, Saroj, you may check at your end. Maybe there is some problem at your end.
Yes, sir, madam, now it is clear. Now it is clear.
Okay, okay, fine. Thank you. So, this is how you can go for a power like Excel. When we talk about the Excel, so Excel has different purpose. Excel is for the spreadsheet. When we call it the Excel, we call it as a spreadsheet, right? So it is most of the thing. It is entering of the data. Entering of the data, having some data to be stored, data to be visualized, but not as a part of this, some part that is of decision making. But when we talk about the Power BI or when we talk about the Tableau, there are n number of advantage over Excel. How? Like say, when we talk about the visualization tool, it gives you a total spectrum of data visualization, how all you can visualize the data. Visualize the data, it means that there are not only charts, but also you can filter the data. You want it to be for the decision making. You want the data to speak by itself, right? So this is how the when you click on the certain region, you will be getting all the data, or all the graphs will automatically get changed according to if you select a certain region. If you select the profit, then automatically it will be changing. If you select the highest sales, it will automatically, you can see that what all you have to do, so that you get a complete visualization for the decision making. When we talk about the data visualization, it is not only a single data set which it is talking about. It is talking about a number of data sets. Let's say when we talk about Azure data set, when we talk about AWS, when we talk about SQL, Oracle, right? So there, you think of any data set and that is available for the link. It can be a text, it can be Excel, it can be a PDF file. You can import, you can see how the data can be captured in the so there are different sources of the data where it can be mapped in the data visualization tool when we talk about the Power BI or when we talk about the Tableau. So what all we have discussed, it is not complete. It is not only one data source, but there can be many data sources that can be connected in the data in the tool like Power BI or the Tableau. The secondly is it is giving you the different dynamic versions of where you can click on something and you get you can have a filter, you can have a slider where you can see and you can judge upon the different things. It helps you in decision making. So when you talk about the decision making, so the information has to be traveled to the right person at the right time, right? So when we talk about the right person at the right time means that particular graph or that particular dashboard has to be available with access to that particular person as well. So it has a communication or a access tool as well. So where you can publish your dashboard, where you can share your dashboard, and that dashboard is available with the other person and they can use that particular dashboard. It helps in decision making and that is available. You can access the dashboard. You can give the access to the different person, they can see. And the second important thing is it takes a real-time data. So if you are into like say the real-time Amazon database and they are using Tableau for their data visualization tool. So you can see that at the real time the data updations can be there. So if you have an idea about when you do the plane booking or the aeroplane like airplane booking, or it can be the a train booking, you can get a real time, or when you see the transaction of when you pay something, you get a real time details about the debited or credited in your bank account. So that is a real time data that can be reflected in the dashboards as well. If that particular data is being linked, like say when there is a COVID-19 time, we can see that there are the different dashboards which are available that are using Power BI, that are using the Tableau, and the data of vaccination, the data of COVID cases, right? Area-wise, state-wise, region-wise, you have all the different visualizations that are there. It gives the features of map also, right? So what is there in the latest Excel version, the map is already also available. But like in the same way, the Power BI as well as the Tableau uses the map versions as well, where you can click on a particular region and you can see the visualization of the maps using different charts. There are a number of charts which are there. That are all the extended charts which are available in the Tableau as well as in the Power BI. So we have the data visualization. When we talk about the data visualization, it is something which where we can talk about in terms of graphs, in terms of tables, right? So if you talk about the spreadsheet or a data summarization, it is again a data visualization. So data visualization is something which is called as the table, which is called as the chart. There can be a number of charts which are there. There is a pivot table. Pivot table is again a part of the data visualization. When you click on the particular and you can get the hierarchy. If you select a year, you will be getting the months, you will be getting the quarter. When you click on quarter, you will be getting the months and so on. And if you want a particular date as well, so that can be there. Similarly, when you select the country, you will be getting a certain region. Then after the region, you will be getting certain states, etc. So this is how, okay, your screen is moving. I'm into the one screen only because I have to just give you the background of the topic, that the data visualization as well as the Power BI. So moving to the next slide, I have just prepared a certain activity for you. We are starting with data visualization and data assessment. So what all you have to do is you have to log in to Mentimeter. I just share the link of Mentimeter with you. And what all you have to do is I will be giving you a code and a question, and based on the code and question, you have to give your responses, what all we have discussed in just the introduction one. So I just share you the Okay. So you have to log in to So I just share this link to you. So what all you have to answer is you have to give your three choices. What do you understand by data visualization? Right. So we have discussed much more thing about the data visualization. You have to give your thought in mentioning the 3 points. What is the data? What do you understand about the data visualization? So this is the link. This is menti.com. You have to use this code 47544727. So you can click on 544727. Okay, I can write the code also in the chat box if you want. So it is 47544727. 47544727. So these are the live responses. So once you are giving the responses, you can see that your responses on this particular page. So I get 3 responses from one person, that is organized data, infographics, pattern recognition. Then 2 more responses, and one is common. So there is a graph and plot. So can we have more responses? Yes, many more responses. It is a pivot table, combination of data, insights the data. Data visualization is a pattern recognition, insights the data, plot, organize the data. It is chart representation of data. It is a combination of various data. So data visualization is a dashboard. Okay, it's a pattern recognition. Okay. Right. So it's basically a picturization, right? Sorting of data, yes, exactly, because when you are taking out some representation, either in the summarization, it is giving you the analysis, it is pattern recognition, it is plot, graph, picturization, right? So I have 16 people as responses, 15 people has responded, and there are total 38 responses. So anything else which comes to your mind? Okay. So I got 16 responses.
Data-driven decisions.
Yes. Data visualization is data-driven. Yeah, it is meant for decision. Insights of data, right? So these are the most of the things that we have already discussed when we are talked about the data visualization. Data visualization is something where it can be catchy to our eyes, where if there is something wrong, that can be stuck up there itself, or that can be seen there itself. So it can be noticed basically, right? So it can be noticed very quickly. And it is also used in data mining. Yes, it is mining of the data. Where Shali says that it is used for data mining also. Yes, because data mining is again when you mine the data, you can go into in depth of the data and you can find out like where is wrong in the data, and you can easily identify where is the case where you have to give the more efforts, right? Whether there can be in the quadrant 1, 2, and 3 and 4, right? So There is a representation of the data, and that representation of data can be used in multiple ways and that is what is the data visualization. So there is no hard and fast when you talk about the data, how to rearrange the data, but it can be according to your wish or your understanding. You can project the data according to where you have to take that data. Like say, supposedly if you are working on some research paper and you want to see that there are 4 quadrants of the data and you want to focus on one quadrant of the data because of this reason. So that can be a very exploratory paper that you can write upon, and you can based on a particular organization of the data that can be that you can have a approach to, or you can suggest the particular things that can be happen for quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4, something like that. So you are basically clustering the data. You want it to be in different clusters, and you can suggest the things that can be happen for the different clusters. Now the next question is, you can do the same thing, and you can see what is the importance of data visualization in business. So I think there are some points which are already being covered. There are some points which are already being covered. I think some. So there are some points which are already being covered when you talk about the importance of data visualization in business. So the same you have to apply. You have to go to the same link and use the same code. And the code is 475442727. And you can give your 3 responses. It can give you a broader idea. It can precise the meaning, limited space having. So I got 1 response. Take informed decision, precise meaning in, get relevant information. Very, very important, relevant information. Because if the information is not getting at a proper time, then that particular information has no value, right? Because this time the time is running so fast, and if you have thought of something that is there in the next day, so you have to be very prompt in taking the action. That improve the accuracy, right? Check the trends, precise meaning in, current situation, get relevant information, gain rights, better understanding, strategy formulation. Yes, very, very important. Better understand the data, because if you have understand the data properly, you are better in the position to take the decision. Then gain insights, take informed decision, check trends, identify the patterns, better understand data, strategy formulation, trend analysis. Yes, trend. What is the trend of this thing? So there are different regression tools that help you in doing the trend analysis. So whatever be the plots that are coming like near to that particular trend or that particular line, regression line, it has to be certain alignment with that particular decision for the decision making. So I think 10 people has responded. So there were more than, I think, 35. Not able to answer even without using the code. Without not able to understand. Yeah, Kalpana, I have sent you a link. That link you have to click. That link you have to click. You will be.
I'm able to understand even without. I'm able to
Okay.
enter. I'm able to enter the answer. I didn't use
Okay.
the code.
Okay, you are not using. Okay, fine. Sir. Maybe the first time you have used code, so that will be helpful for you. Or you have not used the code.
No, I have not used the code at all, but it is taking the answer. So that's what I just wanted to.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Right. So 10 people has responded. So this is how you all feel about the data visualization. What is the impact of what is the use of data visualization in the business? Get relevant information, trend analysis, making information, making informed decision, broader idea, right? Research. It is again very, very important. It is used for research. Right? And you can be alert before time, if there is going to be something wrong. So you, based on the data, you are able to identify, you are able to take the right decision. And so when we are talking about the data visualization, here the important is the data. Right, so data has to be captured in a proper way, or there has to be a properly the columns that has to be identified before capturing the data. So data is very, very important when you collect the data, whether it can be a primary source or a secondary source. This time you have different secondary sources also available for collecting the data. You have kaggle.com, you have data.gov, where you can have different data. Like say if you want to write something on like some topic and the data is already available with you in the secondary data which is available with you, you can do the analysis, and that will be like say enough right analysis, because you need, because the already data which is collected, you need not have to collect it again, right? So your effort has been saved when you take the analysis through the data which is collected and give the proper source of the data, like which data you have used, from which site you have taken that data, and then that data can be used for your research paper and properly acknowledge that particular data. Because that data is something which, if the data is already in place, you can always use that particular data in your analysis. You need not have to make the survey form and then collect the data and then do the analysis. So there is one way is, if the data of your topic is already available, maybe for some different state, maybe there are some categories of the data which is there and which you want to use for your research, so you can you are welcome to do that. And if the someone is working on some companies, then you have the company data. So company data can be it is not only that if it is asked by the senior management, you are doing the analysis for that particular data, but it is the data. What you can do is you can have your own based on your understanding, you can create the dashboard, you can create the visuals for your data, and based on that, whether you have to take some decision, you can always acknowledge, you can put it in the presentations, and then that can be used by the at the time of report or at the time of the presentations. You can use that particular data and the reports and not the data as well as the presentations that can be used. So the 12 people has responded for this particular question. I will take the one more question, and then we will be okay. I think how the business intelligence and the, okay, I skipped this question. We can move to the another question, that is, what is Power BI? Yes, data visualization tool from Microsoft. Yes. The Power BI is the MS tool, right? It is a Microsoft tool. So Ankit and Jayant, you can use that link for the putting your responses so that it can be seen by others also, and it can be saved for the purpose. So I can click on the link. So this is a link. When you click on this particular link, it is a data visualization tool, it is BI tool, it is data reporting tool, it is research, it gives you the research support, it is data visualization tool, it is a tool by Microsoft, it is the data modeling tool. Yes, again, data modeling, it has a capacity of data modeling also. It is a data reporting tool. Yes, so it collect the information. It is a platform to visualize the data. It is power tool for the interruption, data interpretation, then extension of Excel. Okay. Then it is data visualization tool, data analyzing tool, data tool, then data business intelligence, it convert, that is what, right? So I got some understanding about the Power BI. Now we can move to the to take you to the next details about the topic, so that you can have a feel of what all can be done with the Power BI and what all can be done with the AI. So this we have already done. So if you see that what is the data visualization, and that is there. So data business intelligence and data visualization, that is the fast answers to business query. Yes. Then it enables the real-time analysis with the quick navigation. Then it is identify the cross-selling and upselling opportunities. Okay, it's fine. Okay. So identify the cross-selling and the upselling opportunities. If there is something where you have to take an immediate action on the upselling, that there may be some offer or something that can be considered, so that where you can take some action based on the data visualization, based on the data which you have. Then reduces the risk of at the bottlenecks, because sometimes it has happened that you ignore certain decisions, and at the very end time, when there is the risk which is going to be involved, so you can reduce the risk, because there is something wrong which is going to happen, but you can reduce the risk if you know the situation in advance. Helps you to the business better, improves the decision making. So whatever your decision making, because data is something which is important, data is a source which is giving you where you can take the decision according to that. Because the history data, when we talk about the data analytics, when we talk about the data business analytics or data analytics, it is something which is coming from the data. So data is in the earlier days where you have no data available, right? When we do not have any system, there are few MIS system, ERP systems available. But this time the data is everywhere, right? You can't believe that even itself, like we are generating so much of data. Whether you are traveling through having your map on, with data connection on, we are giving the data to the map server. We are giving the data to our own information. We are giving our data to through the different, like it can be WhatsApp, it can be Facebook, it can be Instagram, right? So there are many ways where we are putting the data in terms of images, in terms of the data. So these all data has to be analyzed before and after. Right, so it can be now or it can be later on. So this data has to be analyzed, and the analyzation of the data that requires a certain tools. So when we talk about the tools such as the BI or BI tool or such as the Tableau, they are taking the history data, they are giving you a certain pattern, and based on the present, based on the data, you are better to take the decision. If something has happened last year, then how it is going to be happen for this year. So you can be conscious based on that, and then accordingly you can take the decision. So when we talk about the tools, there are different three things which are available. One is the design in terms of the data design, in terms of the graphs and charts, in terms of communication, how it is going to be communicated to, how it can be accessed to the right person. And there is the information science where you have the IT into involved, where you have the information technology, where you have computer systems are involved into, are being involved into that particular place. So these are the three tools which are important, which integrates with each other, and then it gives you the better data visualization so that it can be informed to the correct person, communicated to the correct person at a very right time. If it has to be told to your team lead, or if it has to be told to the higher authority management, it can be tell very well in advance if you have a particular data in place. So data has to be like when we talk about the integration of data is coming from the different vendors. It is coming from like Amazon, how it is doing that. They have the different vendors in place. The different vendors integrated with the common service provider or the common service, that is the Amazon. They integrates the data, they visualize the data, they gives the reporting as per the requirement, based on there you can have a decision making, and then that decision can be whether it is have at a very right time they have to take the decision. If the vendor is not having a particular material, if vendor is not doing properly, then it has to be taken care of. If the based on the customer's satisfaction survey, if customer is not satisfied with a certain item or a certain vendor, then that has to be taken care of. So they may give the one warning, two warning, and then afterwards they have to take the action against that vendor. So all the data has to be collected, which vendor is providing which particular items. That is again, if they want to shift from one vendor to another vendor, the data, if the data is in place, then that can be easily done, right? And that can be, they can also have the comparison between all the vendors also, right? So in the same way it can be for the customer, in the same way it can be the salesperson who are working in the team. You want to see that which salesperson has given you more profit or the more business, that can be identified, that can be seen according to the sales which has been taken place. Why Power BI? Power BI is, as we have already discussed, that it gives you the real-time trend. If your server or your services is online and it is available like 24/7, it is real-time trend, and that can be seen to the outside world. So that can be seen and that can be modified, that can be updated time to time. Auto searching capabilities is also there. You can have the searching, you can have auto facilities where there can be, where you can have the different filters option, different dynamic options which can be available, where you can search for a certain thing and then you can find it out, like where it is doing wrong or where it is doing right. Right, so these all can be put it into the graph and that can be done. Advanced analytics, you can have the analytics in terms of regression line or in terms of clustering, that can be taken care of while you are working on the Power BI. Enterprise ready, it can be the enterprise ready tool where the management has to take the decision, where the higher management has to take some decision, they can easily do that. Power BI need to be subscribed, or it has to be the subscription is there. The elementary version of Power BI is free, but if you want to if you want to go for the higher version, because it has a limited version. So if you want to go for the higher version, then you have to pay. Else it is because I have installed in my, it has asked for the email ID, and it is considered to be the free. This time Microsoft, maybe I have a Microsoft subscription, that's why, but R is completely free, it is open source. So R has a different spectrum, and it is meant for different, altogether different thing, but it is a Microsoft. So I think that there must be certain things which are the elementary for software which is available as to be free. But if you are looking forward for the more intense features, then that will be charged. Yes. So it will be considered to be free. So who all can use the Power BI? So Power BI, that is used for the researchers, the subject matter experts. If you are if you are a researcher, you have to search for a certain things, then it can be, you can have the data, it can be used by the developers. It can be used for the IT professionals, it can be used for the business analysts, right? So if it can be any trend of the data which you want to take decisions as a subject, as a faculty or as a research scholar, you can look forward for as a subject matter experts, where you can consider the data, where you can consider the data, you can look for the pattern, you can quickly look for the certain good graphs and charts that you can put it in either in your PPTs, or you can put it in your reports and reports as well as in your research papers. What is Power BI? So Power BI is not only the data visualization tool, but also it has a business analytics service that is provided by the Microsoft. It provides the interactive visualizations with self-service business intelligence capabilities. Right. So as we have discussed that it is the visualization, it has an interactive visualization. Interactive visualizations, as if you want a certain things to be mapped with, or if you want to click on certain things, then it has to be like, say, I have given you the example, if you have a region in place, and if you click on the region, you will be getting all the information which is according to mold according to that particular region. Self-service business intelligence capabilities, it is based on your business intelligence or your business. You can see or you can identify where based on the knowledge that you have, you can identify that where my data is going wrong and how I can improve upon my data. And it is one of the tool which can be teach to the students, because the students are going to the corporates, they can use this Power BI, and then they can equip themselves. So in most of the data visualization, especially in the analytics course, the Power BI, data analytics, data visualization using Tableau has been introduced in most of the program, not only the IT, but also in the management program. So how you can see the architecture of the Power BI? So Power BI has the hundreds of data sources. So as we have discussed, it is not only Excel, it is not only CSV file, as we are using the limited resources in case of Excel. But when we talk about the Power BI, there are hundreds of data sources. It is SQL, it is cloud, it is the Power BI desktop, right? So it is interacting with the Power BI desktop, as you will be getting all the data resources. So the first screen, it talks about the data. I will show you that how to start with the data sources. So when you click on the data sources, it will be asking you if you have the username and password for your data sources which are being used in your organization. So it will ask for the user ID and password, and it creates the interaction. It creates the connect between the Power BI services and you. And when you have the link between the two, and when you click the link between the two, you will find that then you will be finding that how it can be used or it can be connected to the data source. Right, so there is not a limited, but there are n number of data sources that can be connected. That is the data visualization, because even if you can, I will show you like how the PDF for data or how the the reporting data can be converted into the meaningful data, and where you can create the graphs and it can be used. Then once you done with the Power BI connection or the linking to the different resources, that it can be published. Right. So once you can publish, you have to use the user ID and password. So when it is asking for this thing, you have, if you want it to be in the share for with your work with the other people, and so you have to provide it with them with a link. And that link can be created. You are using a space in the cloud, and that is the Power BI service. So you create the link in the Power BI service, your username and password. By default, it will take like whatever you are using, like it has a Gmail option. So you click on the Gmail, it will automatically take you to that. You can give the access to your dashboard. There again, you have the two types of access. Either it can be a layout as per the desktop, or it can be the layout as per the mobile phones. So you can have different charts as per the mobile phones as well, as it is happening in different app services and etc. So you can give the access, you can publish, and then you can give the access to the other people outside the world. So it is now it is available at the internet. It is because it is available in the cloud, so that is available in the internet. So once you are using your system to create the pivot report, it is only with you. But once you publish it, the access will go to the outside world. So if somebody is in XYZ position, X and XYZ location, you can send that link, and that particular can see the data which you have sent by using a cloud-based Power BI service. There are gateways which your organization of the data that can be linked to the Power BI services. So this is how it has given you the advantage edge, competitive edge over where you can connect to different data source. You can publish it, and that is available World Wide Web. If you want to send to your like a supervisor, or maybe to the manager, or maybe to the CEO of the company, you can also send a link, and that link they can see the data. And if that data which you have connected is the real-time data, you can get the real-time dashboards as well. So it is like, say, if there are few purchases last minute, so it can also be reflected in the current data. So it is not only that you are preparing a static data, or you are preparing a static dashboard, but you are preparing a dynamic dashboard. So as soon as your data is being incorporated or data is being changed at the backend, you can change your dashboard also, which you are accessing, and that is incorporating the real-time data. So that has its own relevance, because if you see that if you have certain innovation in the selling of a particular product, and if you see that there are results which are being coming at the other end, so you can take the benefit of it. You can enhance those processes, and so that it can be benefited to the organization. Key benefits of Power BI, that is pre-built dashboards and the reports which are popular in SaaS, that is the service, that is the software as a service. So they are providing the software as a service solutions where there are different pre-inbuilt dashboards are available. You can see that either you can use the pre-built dashboards or you can create your own dashboard also. We will be creating our own dashboards. But if you want to use certain dashboards which are available as a pre-built, then that can be also used. So there are certain options, like say when we when we create the PowerPoint slides, so there are different templates which are available. So these are all the kind of templates. So these templates, either you can click on a particular template and try to create that kind of dashboard, or you can have your own dashboard. Real-time dashboard update, that is again service which is there in the Power BI, as it is there in R and other softwares which are the cloud-based. So updates are also available, like say when there is a software updates or there is a real time. So the real time dashboard updates, if there is something difference between the gateways and the Power BI service. So yes, Yogita, I will be coming to that. Then secure live connection and the data sources on the premises and in the cloud. So secure live connection means it is on the secure type, like say when you have a connection with the Power BI, your data source databases are connected with the Power BI. So all the data sources on the premises are in the cloud, and that is giving you the connection, and that is a secure one. Right, so there will be no hacking of the data source. Then once you have a user ID and password, so you are being secure in terms of when you are creating a live connection. Right, so what does it does? Like say based on the cloud-based services, what you find benefit of it makes a live connection, and then it is not forever. That particular connection is not valid forever, but it makes a live connection, fetch the data, and then it is disconnected, so that it cannot be used by the other resources, or there may be some like say some problem with the data source, or there may be some patch where it can be taken from the other resources, or the third party resources can fetch that particular data. So that is being taken care by the Power BI. Intuitive data exploration using a language query. So it gives you where you can use the question answers as well, where you can identify, where you can say that you want a sales data month-wise. So the data is being explored based on the data, and it will be giving you a certain answers. It will be helping you for the creation of your charts and the tables. Integrated with familiar Microsoft products and utilize the commitment of our scale. Because it is a Microsoft product, so you can see that all the options like there is a file, there is a edit, and there are other options. Even the Microsoft, we are very much familiar to the Microsoft products, whether it is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or Microsoft Access, Microsoft products, or Microsoft Office product, MS Office product. So we are very much familiar. So in that way, it will be. And when we see about the commitment of the Microsoft, so they have the further licensing which is available, and also there are certain updates which are available, and they are updating their softwares time to time. Like if you can see the Excel, and there are different versions of Excel 2007, then there is a 2013, then 2021, and then a 365 a common version which is based on the cloud. So this is how they are updating their software. So that's why we can rely on the Microsoft, and this is also a Microsoft product. The other components of the Microsoft BI or Power BI is the Power BI service. So Power BI service, as we have discussed, that the Power BI service is a service which you are able to connect to the outside world, right? So for what is the Power BI service? That there it is giving you a space on the cloud. It is giving you a space. Space means when you are having you are using your user ID and password, and you are creating something or you are publishing something on the net, and that is available to the public. It means that you are occupying their space or you are taking that particular service. So that is a service role, that is a Power BI service. Then Power BI question answers. So when you say the Power BI question answers, in the tool itself, you will be finding that there are certain question answers where you can have or you can ask the question and you will be getting the response there itself. Means when you want a certain thing to be happen, like when you say that I want a report, sales report with region wise, right? So it will be helping you out with the creation of that particular report as well. So it is basically when you write a question, you will be getting an answer. As where we are doing the chat GPT also, right? So you are writing a question and you're getting a response there itself. So that is a question answer where you will be asking a question, where you'll be asking a question. If you have selected a certain data set, it will be helping you to create the dashboard according to the, like say if you have recommended charts, right? In the Excel, we got a recommended chart. So recommended charts is based on the data. So based on the data, it is giving you the recommended chart. So in the same way, if you go for a certain, like say, if you say, prepare a chart for the sales with region wise. So it will be automatically preparing you with the recommended charts. So based on either it can be a column chart or it can be a line chart based on whatever be its understanding from the backend. Then there is a data management gateways. The data management gateways, you can have like hundreds of thousands of the databases which are connected to the Power BI, and it is helping you in integration. So when you look for a certain tool, you will find that how this particular tool is connected. Like say when you talk about the data management, you will see that how the one table is being connected to the other table. Like say when we are using in Excel, when you have to connect one sheet to the another sheet, you will be using VLOOKUP, right? If like say if I have a registration number and my registration number or my order ID, in the one table I have the order details, another table I have a customer details. So what I can do is order may I will be having a customer detail, and that customer I will be taking from the customer table. So how I will be mapping? I will be mapping it with the by the use of VLOOKUP. Right. So, but in this case of Power BI, you don't have to apply the VLOOKUP. You just have to drag and drop the different sheets, and automatically based on the common columns, it will automatically create the data management for you or data modeling for you. So that is called as the data modeling, where you will be having all the tables are connected by default. So if you want to select the customer name from the one table and the another table, you will be choosing like say the total cost and maybe the total the order ID. Based on the order ID, what are the products that have been sold and what are the and what is the total sales that is there for that particular customer. So you can identify this detail, and that details can be fetched from the 2 or 3 different tables and give you certain information. Now, so you can map, you can create a query, and once you have created a query, you can project that particular detail. So next is the data catalog. Data catalog is again, it can be, if it is in the terms of sheets or it is in the term of tables, so you can have a multiple data and you can create your own catalog where it has a one vendor data is in Excel, another vendor data is in SQL, third is in Oracle, and then you can capture all the data and put it into the one catalog. Then there is a power map where you have the details of a map. Map is there. Then if you look for a power view, then There is a report view. There are different types of views, like it can be a report view, design view is again one of the option is there. Then there is a power pivot. Power pivot is the option where you can have the Excel enabled. It is Excel enabled where you can look for the power pivot where it has a very minimum feature, and once you install the power pivot in the Excel itself, you will be giving one option as a power pivot. So Power Pivot has its own limitation because it's a plugin in the Excel. It is not a separate software as Power BI, but it is one of the plugin in the Excel. So it has a very limited features. Then you have a Power Query. So Power Query is again a Power BI tool where you can write the query, where you can connect the tables and write a query. Write a query in the sense like you have some columns from the one table, certain columns, the two columns from the another table. And if you want to look for a group by kind of thing, then you can create, if you want a certain particular things to be captured from that particular table. So you can combine the fields with respect to the table and create your own queries, and that queries can be used in further in creating the dashboards and creating the charts. So I think there was one question which is on the Power BI and the Power BI gateways. So Power BI gateways, I think somebody has asked Yogita. So Yogita, when we are talking about the Power BI services, right? So Power BI services is when, as I told you, that we have a login ID and password, and that your login ID and password can be, like say if I log in with my Gmail account or my Outlook account, so I can I am getting an interface where I am getting a space for that. But that particular BI service is using they are using some of the Power BI gateways, right? Because how they are getting the data, there must be some gateways where they will be organizing the data and there will be a data source, and there is a lock, like say when we talk about, so we have given the permission as our login ID and password is something where we had given that particular permission through the gateway, and gateway is basically the mediator between the Power BI service and the gateway. So this data, and as well as when we talk about the reports which are available, so there is a gateway, and that gateway is where you are accessing through a Power BI service. So Power BI services, you are using a login and password, and your data and your report, maybe the report that you have created, or maybe the the chart that you have created, you had given them the access, and that access is only if it is passed through the gateway of Power BI. I hope it is clear. Okay. Yes. So I think I have give you a brief introduction about how it is going to be, how the Power BI works, and what are the different components. When you talk about the architecture of the Power BI, so there is a data preparation which is coming from the data and transform it, loads to the data warehouse. It gives the visualization, and then it can be accessed from the business user. So this is what is the flow of the Power BI. Then we talk about the building blocks. The first building block, if you look for the visualizations, it is visualizing the data. If you want to prepare some chart, you have to take the data source, you have to create the reports, you have to create the once the report is created, then you have a multi reports can take you to the dashboard. And for a single visualization of the report, that is called as the tiles. So there we called it as sheet. Here we called it as the data. Reports is a collection of visuals from the data. Then you have a single page which where you can create a dashboard and which can be built-in reports. So this is the flow. So if you see that there is a visualization, this is what is the visualization is. You have a data source. So there are two, three things which are important. One is how to create a visualization. Then what is going to be my data set. How I can create different reports. How I can create different dashboards. And I can where I can take it to the different stories and where I can have my single tile, which is a single report in my view or in my BI report tool. So I take you to the installation of the Power BI desktop. So I hope you have used that link to install your Power BI. All of you are able to create or are able to use. Okay, yes, sir. So there is a very simple thing that you have to please share the link. Okay. So I will share the link. I have already sent you the link in the mail where you can search for the Power BI and you can install that particular tool. You can download and install. So you have to create an option which is called as the Power BI desktop. So I'm just sharing that link again. Okay, already installed. Jyoti has already installed. So those who have not installed, they can install. You can install and then you can also have access to the BI server, Power BI server web services as well. Right, so Amrita has also installed, fine. So some of you have installed and some, so I will take a break of maybe 10 minutes and then 3:45 we will be again back. So those who have installed, that is fine. Those who have not installed, they can install it. And then I will just take you to the tour of the different options which are available in the Power BI, right? So you can see that there is a menu option, there is a data source option. So what are options is there? So Gaurav Kumar is downloading. So Gaurav, you can download and install it. And then I will be taking you to the Power BI interface. So we are just taking a break of 10 minutes. So 4:45, we will be 3:45, sorry, 3:45, we will be again back with our Power BI interface. Yeah, welcome you back. I hope you all have installed. It's downloading. Yes. Okay, yeah, good. So before taking you to the interface, we just discuss about a data source, right? Because that is again very, very important. If you, whatever be the data source you are going for a practice, you should know what are the details of that particular data source. So if I see that this particular data source has I hope my screen is visible to you. Yes.
Yes.
So once we have identified the data source, this is a sales data source. This is the order detail table. Right? This is about the Superstore 2015 data. So if you can see, the name is Superstore US 2015 data, right? So this, okay, I will be sharing this data. Okay. So I have already shared the data with you on your chat window, on the Zoom chat window. So if you can see that how many records it has. Just so how many records it has, right? So if you see control and down arrow, so there are total 1953 records, right? So if you can see that what are the columns, like you have order priority, you have discount, you have unit price, you have sales, customer ID, ship mode, right? So these are the different quality, these are the different columns which are there. It has a product name, then it has the country, then region. Country is the same, the regions, there are 4 regions. There are state, there are city, then you have order date, which is important, where you can identify, from the date you can identify the quarters, you can identify the year, you can identify months, right? And the daily transactions that can be seen. Then you have ship date, profit, then quantity ordered, new, then the total sales which has, and then there is a order ID. So these are the following. These are the columns which has from that. These are 26 columns somewhere, right? Because it starts with the A and it's end with the total 26 alphabet. So these are 24 columns which are there. Then you can see that there is another 2 tabs which are there. One is the return tab, like the orders which are already there, but if it is having a return to the company, then there is a return status. If there is no return status, it means that the item is not returned, or it is there, right? Then it has a manager also. So there are 4 managers with respect to the region. So there is another third sheet which is there. So it has total 3 sheets. One has the return, one has the total order details, second one is the return detail, and the fourth one is the user. Right. So once so it is having the order detail, if you have to, because when we want to identify, when you want to identify what should be my key columns, where I can search for something. Let's say if this is a sales data, so the sales figure, which is very, very important for any individual, right? Because it is order details, which is having a sales. So there are, if you see that what are all are the measures which are there. So if you see that the measures are the numbers, and the numbers, if you can see from the left, the numbers are the discount, there is a unit price, there is ship cost, which is there. So these are all the numbers or the measures that can be measured. Right, and if you can see what are the dimensions. So in Tableau, we called it as measures and dimensions separately. In the similar way, there you can also see in the interface, there is a measure term, like you can create a new measure. So new measure is something like, say, if you want to have, if you don't have the total sales, if you want have the quantity and the unit, so you can multiply both. Or if you want to in profit multiply by something, like, so there can be something where you have, where the calculations can be allowed, and where you want a certain new column to be added, which is based on the existing column. So if there are 2 existing column, 3 existing column, where you can combine them either with any of the operations, like it can be plus, minus, divide, or something, and then you can come up with a new measure or a new field which is used for your reporting purpose. So this is how you have the measures, which is like, say, supposingly we will be doing this this particular page, this particular sheet, and most of the time we will be using the sales and profit. Right. So what is the sales and what is the profit? If the sales is increasing, is the profit remains the same, or there is a loss to the company? All right. So if the sales is increasing, but there is a loss in the company, means there is something wrong with that particular thing. Similarly, for if the sales are increasing over the time, it means that that is good for the for that particular product. Once you have the sales of the amount, then sales is based on the region, it is based on the user who is belonging to that particular region, it is based on if you can see that that is based on the month, which month you are having the sales, which region is doing the sales, which state is doing the sales, right? Which product is doing the sales. So there are certain dimensions that can be seen from, if you can see that there is a product category, right? So if there are 4 or 5 product category, which has office supplies, which has furniture. If you have 4 regions, then there are the 4 different category which are there. Who is working on, who is doing better? Like say if the region east, west, north, south. So east is doing better in which product category? Similarly, like say it can be only happens if you have a sales data with you. And you can have the relationship between the sales and the profit. If there is a sales, if the sales is increasing, is there a profit which is increasing or not? So there can be different colors where you can identify this thing, and there is you can create a map with this by using state and province, and right. So by using a state, you can have the different regions or different states in United States, where you can identify that which particular state is doing good in terms of sales, right? And which are in the borderline, which can be increased based on maybe the location or based on maybe. So there are a number of things where you can see, where you can identify it. Then you can have the month-wise, quarter-wise sales for a particular region, for a particular state. Right. So this is how you can manage in the similar way. So once you see the data, the thought process should go on. What are the different key indicators for my research, or for my maybe for my dashboard, right? So or for my graph. So where I can identify something, or where I can suggest to my company or suggest to the stakeholders, like they can work on something on this to have the maximum sales. So this is how you can identify the key indicators. So here, if you can see the key indicators, my key indicators can be region, my key indicators can be a state, my key indicators can be a product, right? And what are the measures? The measures can be, normally I go for the sales and the profit, right? Sales and the profit are my region. So I take you to the interface of the Power BI. So this is the Power BI interface, right? So I have logged in with my official account, and I think it will be. So here, this is the interface which is there, right? So you can have, you can see that left-hand side, there are 3, this thing, this is page 1. So if you can use the tiles, so you can have the page 1, then you can have page 2 and page 3, right? So you can add a number of pages according to your requirement. Then you have the options where you can click on the data, right? So you can select the importing the data from the Excel. You can select and have the data from the Excel. So if you select the data, right, so you can see that there are different options, right? There are hundreds of options where you can have a Excel, where you can have a CSV, XML, PDF, or a particular folder which has many files into it, right? So these are all the options which are there. So here you can select if for all the, like these are, I think, more than 100 options. which are there where you can click on some option and then you can proceed. Like say if your server is with Azure, or if your server is like, so if you click on that, then it will ask for the username and password because it has to create a link. Then there is a Zendex beta version, right? So these are all having the data, and they are using they are connected with the Power BI, and then you can play around with their data. So MySQL server is there. So when you click on if any of the option, if you have the user ID and password, then you can click it. I think that is also there. It must be taking the, yeah, I think SPSS sheet must also be there. It was there in Tableau, but I am not like sure about this, but you can also try for SPSS data sheet also. Right, so you must be knowing the username and password, then only you are able to connect it. So if it is like, if I click on this, I think these are the some of the options which are again divided into the further. There is a Power Platform which is there, right? So it has also given some of the BI flows common, right? So these are Azure which is there. Then there is an online services which is also available. I think SPSS, Salesforce reports, objects. I think SPSS might be here somewhere. Even dynamic 360 Dataverse, or that is Dynamics, MS Dynamics is also there. So it has connected with, you have different options where you can connect. If I want to go for, I start with the Excel workbook. I click on the Excel workbook. So I go to my Power BI and I go to my Superstore data. Right. So now in the data sheet, we have seen that there are three different charts, which are three different tabs which are there. Right. So in the same way, you can see that there are three different tabs. Like say, supposingly, if you want all the three charts to be used by my in my navigator, so I can I can select all the three charts and I said load. I think third party data, even if you want to have a if you have a link also, you can also add, Ankit. Like say if you have a Kaggle data and you have a link of that particular Kaggle data up to that file. So if you there is an option where you can enter the data with that hyperlink, where you can add the data from the cloud itself, if that is save in a particular source. So I have selected all the three for orders, return, and user. So it is loading. So you have to use correct username or password. I think I have registered with some different ID and I am trying to use different ID. So it may be giving me the problem. So once you get the data, right? So the first option that is there, then there is a second option which is called as the data. I think it has solved.
Ma'am, we are not able to view your screen.
Yes, I think there is some problem with my login ID in Power BI, so it has stopped.
Okay.
I have just opening it again. So first you have to log in to the Power BI and then you can use it. Maybe my login is not there, so that's why it is asking again and again. So what you all can do is you can log in first and then you are able to use it.
इतना लेट क्यों बच्चा मेरा इंटर्नशिप अभी खत्म है आज फर्स्ट डे अभी कॉर्नर पे अपना ये डालो लेके
Okay, Gaurav is able to load without login. Okay, so I just take you to the menu option. And so I just sign in and see it afterwards. So you have this menu option which is available. You can have the options here, right? So there are, you can have a get data, you can have the SQL server. There are different data options which are available. It is available here itself. Then there is a data modeling. Once you click on the data modeling, you can see that all the
Ma'am, please share your screen now. Your screen is not visible.
So these are the three options where you can have a chart, where you can have a data sheet, and where you can have a data modeling. Where all these three tables which we have added has to be linked through the common key There is a customer ID, which is a common, and in second case, there is a region, which is common. Then in the right hand side, you can see that this is the right hand side where there is a data. So once you add with the data, you can see that all the three tables and all the columns will be appearing in the data option. These are the different charts which are available. So you can have a build visual. So first you click on build visual, then you can select any one of this chart where you want to use a particular chart, and then you can start making the, so tomorrow we will see that how to create different charts with respect to the data. So these are the different charts which are option which are available. So it can link to the Python, it can link to R, right? So these, and there are different charts which are options which are available. There can be a cross tab option also. These are the different charts which are there. Then there is an option for filter, like say when if you have a certain filter, certain column filter when you want to add, so you have to just click on that particular data column and the filter which is available. Filter may, if you select a certain filter, like if you select a region, you will be getting the data according to the region. If you select the program like the product code or a product name, that will be according to that particular product name. So all the sales, everything will be according to the product name. So this is how this will work. Then there are different options, like if you see the interface. Okay, so I think Gaurav can share his screen. He is able to do with this thing. So yeah, Gaurav, you want to share your screen?
Okay, ma'am, I can.
Okay, yes. So I can try my login.
My screen is visible,
Yes, yes, it is visible.
right?
That's right. So if you can see that once you have all this data, so this is the data sheet which is available. It has all the three columns. So when you click on order,
Click on order, okay.
no, here right hand side. So these are the different options which are available. So you can see that there is a summation mark which is considered to be the measure where you can have the sum count, right? So you can have the aggregation of, you can have average, sum. Share the file in the middle. Okay. So that is there, right? So it has considered some of the columns, which is not actually a measure. Like in case of postal code is actually a character. Seems to be a character value, but it has considered as a measure. So if there is certain values that you want to make it, if you right click it, you can make it as, you can change the column also. So you can change it to a new measure. I think okay, there is no option for, like, you can change from one to another. So it is something which is called as the new measure. New measure that we have discussed, if you want to create a new measure, that can be with a combination of two values which are already present. Similarly, you can have a profit, you can have sales, etc. Right? Then you can see that there is a return is the second option, second table which is there, and there is a user which is the third table. So you can do the sorting. If you click on this particular link, you can do the sorting. Right? If you click in this columns, then you can click on the column. Then you can do the ascending, descending. That option is available. Right. And if you click on customer segment again, Gaurav, if you can click on some. So you can see that once you have a character value, if you click on this arrow, right? So here there is an option. Okay, it is not coming. Here you can once you click, it is giving you the values or a filter. So how it can give you a value and a filter, because this is it is giving you the text filter, not this, but earlier it was coming. So if you click on the link again and right click, or not right click, click on this arrow, right side arrow. So this is according to the text filter, right? So the Power BI or any tool which automatically identifies it as a text. As a text means it has a certain categories, like it can be a consumer, it can be corporate, it can be the home office, it can be for the small office. So the interface automatically identified some column as a number field or a decimals that is considered to be a measure, and the others can be considered as a text. So text ke liye you will be having a text measure. If any number, if we can, if Gaurav, if you can go to a column like product based margin, which is a number. So here you will be getting a filter which is called as the number filter. Right. So for the number filter, it can be you can have greater than, less than, and it is for the text filter, it is only equal to or starting with this. So it will automatically go for as a text, and this will automatically go as a number. So it will automatically take care of the data types which is there. Right. So these are the different options which are there. We can create data groups. We can manage the relationship. So if you click on the relationship, then you can see that how this three table can be linked to each other, and that link is automatically created. Right. So if you can see this order ID and the order ID of the first column and the order ID of the second column, I think at the end there is a order ID. So you just have to link these two tables. Sometimes by default the link is created if because here I think it is given as last column is order. This was this order ID. So if you click one column to the another, so I think it is. Yeah, are you able to create a link? No, not in this. So this I will tell you tomorrow how to create a link between the two. Right. So once you create the link between the two, then you can see that the table which have automatically you can have the order status with the customer, with the order ID, with the sales, everything. Because if the order is written, it will not be coming in the sales part. It has to be removed from the sales, or you just have to drag and drop the arrow. So Vishik is saying that you just have to, so it is a common, which is very common in if somebody has used the data source, then it is just a drag and drop of the arrow. So that will be giving you the link. So you can take this arrow and drop here. So it will automatically create it. Yes. So this is how you can have. So we have seen that there are two tables and how they are being connected. Then there is a managed relationship that we have seen. We have seen all the tables and all the columns which are there. I think cardinality is there for both. If you press OK, I think there is a relationship which is there. No? Working on, yes. So there is a relationship that happens from one table to another table. So based on the values of the column, it will drag or it will create the relationship between the one table to the another. So if you have column 1 and column 2, column 1 is so this particular column has a region, right? So region will be there in the order table. So you have to create a relationship between the order and the user table. So user table has a region, and region is there in the order table. And the second column, which shows about the who is maintaining that particular, who is the employer for that particular, or who is the responsible for that particular region. So that will be helping you. So tomorrow we will start with the charts, right? By the meantime, you just take a data set and play around with this. What are the different options that can be there? And tomorrow we will be starting with the different charts. So we will be seeing what are the different charts which are available, and then how it can be used, and how you can make it more attractive so that it can be considered for different decision making purposes. So I will be sharing the feedback link and the attendance link with you in this window, in this Zoom link. So I hope you all are added to the WhatsApp group. I have shared the WhatsApp link. I have shared the feedback link and the attendance link. And all of you are requested to be there in the chat, in the WhatsApp group, because we will be sharing the video links in the WhatsApp group only.
हेलो मैम
Yeah.
मैम नेम ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट में कौन से नाम लिखना है, जहाँ पढ़ते हैं हम या एमटी का?
नहीं, आप जहाँ पढ़ते हैं.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
That this is for certificate also, है ना? So you have to be see the options which you are filling. If anyone has doubt, then they can stay back. In case of installation, if you are facing problem, yeah, you can leave. Didn't not get the link. I have shared the link, Ritu. Okay, I will share it again.
Ma'am, can we get the recording of the session today?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I missed
will.
some part.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sure. So as soon as I get the recording, maybe today or tomorrow, then I will be sharing it with you.
because I need to connecting the two tables, that part I missed it out.
Okay.
So,
Then we will be doing it tomorrow. Anyway,
Okay,
we will
fine.
be doing it tomorrow because we will be taking the one data set tomorrow, and then we will be doing from the start.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah.
It was a great session, but I just wanted to know whether, after downloading the Power BI and other things, get data from another source. So you have uploaded any data? What is it? Or can we use our data? What is it that I'm trying? It's not working here because there's no power also.
Okay. I have shared one data set with you. I will share it again. That we will be taking tomorrow. We will be taking that exercise with that data.
It is there in the Excel.
It is there in the Excel. Yes.
It is there. It comes under that US, whatever the store name, whatever it is.
Yeah. That is
because
good.
on and off we had power fluctuation.
Okay. No, yes, this will work. So we will start with this data only, Superstore data.
So what is it, ma'am? Can you just?
I will be sharing it with in this particular link only. In this chat box only, I will be sharing that link so that you can download.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Completed a master's in the condition. Abhishek, it is totally based upon where you have to show the certificate, because this will be the institute name where you will be submitting, or maybe, right? So if you are working somewhere, it's fine. If you are doing your master, then you can have a college name, institute name.
Okay, ma'am.
Where you are working. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
So we will meet tomorrow. Yes.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. I will put the attendance and feedback link in the WhatsApp group also, because maybe few of you have not given the attendance link.
I submitted my feedback for my attendance also.
Okay,
So
fine.
again करना
We
होगा
can-
मुझे?
Yeah. We are closing down the meeting. Okay, thank you so much. We will be meeting tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Madam, attendance form I have filled, but feedback is the same form.
Feedback
Only
is
one?
different. It's different from
Different
feedback
है.
you can that you can you can fill it afterwards if you want.
Okay.
And the feedback from design is awesome.
Yeah.